Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I want to talk about an investment opportunity that I think is extremely interesting right now. And this is something that probably will make you a lot of gold in patch 10.2 and even after that. So as you can imagine, with patch 10.2, we will be getting a new raid. And so it means that probably not a lot of people are going to do the current raid, Aberus the Shadowed Crucible. So with that, all the different things you can get from this raid, especially all the different BOEs, are things that are not going to be as available on the auction house, simply because, again, people are not going to do this raid anymore. When it comes to all the different recipes and plans from the two first raids, basically you will still be able to get them in the new raid, and so this is why these are not as interesting as the different BOEs from the raid. But now you're probably wondering, why would you invest in all the different BOEs from the raid, knowing that the eye level is going to be really low compared to what you can get in patch 10.2? Basically, the only reason why you want to invest in some of them is because of the different appearances and the fact that all these different BOEs have unique appearances other than the ones that are class specific. So as you can see, and here I'm also going to talk about the first raid from Dragonflight, the Vault of the Incarnates. Some of these different items have really good appearances. So for instance, here, the best one from the Vault of the Incarnates, I would say, is by far the helm from the Death Knight set. And here you can see that you can only get this item if you're a Death Knight from the different bosses. Otherwise, in order to get this appearance, if you're playing, for instance, on the Paladin or a warrior, you will need to get the appearance from the BOE. And so for this reason, these different items are still relevant and will definitely still be relevant even after the end of Dragonflight, because people will buy them in order to get these really cool appearances. So right now, for instance, the Helm is still something that sells really well. As you can see, some of these other items are not selling at all, but the Helm is still something that people are trying to get because, again, the appearance is really cool. Of course, you also have all these other items. It's the same for all of them. But I would say that really the Helm is probably the best from the first raid. And then after that, from Aberus, you have the exact same situation. So here, as you can see, all these different items are class specific, and then you can only get the appearance through the different BOEs. And here again, we have some really good appearances. So the first one that I really want to mention, and that I think should be the one you should invest the most in, are of course the priest shoulders. So these ones are extremely nice and definitely something that I know a lot of people are using and will probably still be using in the future. Again, if you're playing on a mage, if you're playing on a warlock, then you won't be able to get this appearance other than through the BOE. Then after that, you have, of course, other appearances that are actually interesting as well. For instance, you have the Druid shoulders and maybe like the helm for the Paladin set. But these ones are not going to be as relevant as the shoulders for the priest set. So what I would recommend you to do really is to go on your auction house and just have a look. Try to find some of these items in all the different difficulties, because they are always in different colorations. So for instance, here, as you can see, this is the normal difficulty. And then you have the same with LFR, with Mythic and Heroic. Here, I would say definitely the best one is Heroic, because this is the red variation, which is probably the coolest. But again, all of them are relevant, and so you will definitely be able to make some gold with all four variations in patch 10.2. So again, in my opinion, the best item that you should be looking into right now is the Crucible Creator's Wingspan, the shoulders for the priest set. And again, in my opinion, the Heroic version 428 eye level is probably the best coloration. So here, as you can see on European realms, for the normal version, there is 111 available, and the medium price is 50,000 gold, with some of them at 30,000 gold. So you can really find some for a ridiculous amount of gold. Then, for instance, for the heroic one, same, the minimum price is 30,000 gold, and then the medium price is 60,000 gold, and you have 380 available. So really, you can find so many of them for a really cheap price. And then on US realms, as you can see, it's 86 for the normal version, 72,000 gold on average. And you have 244 for the heroic version and 90,000 gold on average. So just to compare, I'm gonna use the Great Elm of Oranfury from the Vault of the Incarnates raid. Again, this is in my opinion the best BOE from this raid. So here, as you can see, the value is now very high because unfortunately not a lot of people are doing this raid anymore. And so it means that there is not a lot of these BOEs that are available on the auction house. So here, as you can see, for instance, when the patch was currently live, these different BOEs were selling for quite a lot of gold. And then as soon as it was not really relevant anymore, all of them were selling for less than 100,000 gold. And then it was like that for a little while. But then now, as you can see, it's around like 400,000 gold, and they do sell. I'll show you just after. I recently sold one for 480,000 gold. So it really goes to show how easy it is for the value to improve. And keep in mind again, it will stay like that even after the end of patch 10.2 and the end of Dragonflight, because it's going to be the same situation and people won't be able to farm these BOEs very easily, even by themselves, in the next expansion. And then, for instance, if you take the heroic version here, as you can see, it was already pretty expensive, and then gradually it started to really go to like 180, and there were not a lot available. And then someone probably bought all of them, and now again they're all selling for like 400,000 gold on average. So it really goes to show that if you manage to buy some of these different, for instance, shoulders for the presets for 30,000 gold, most likely you will be able to sell them for a lot of profit in patch 10.2 and after patch 10.2 as well. So when it comes to how much you should invest, I would say that anything below than 50, 60,000 gold is probably going to be a good investment. Again, I'm 100% sure that you will be able to make some profit because the value is never going to drop. These are really good appearances and they are unique. So trust me, even for instance, for a priest, if you cannot find a group in patch 10.2 or in patch 10.3 to do these different raids, you will have to buy the BOE directly from the auction house in order to get the appearance and complete your set. So again, trust me, you will mainly make some profit if you manage to buy some for a cheap price. So what you can do is go on this website, the Undermine Exchange, in order to see exactly on which realm some of them are selling for a really cheap price. As you can see here, for instance, on Draenor, you have 14 of these for only 30,000 gold, which is absolutely ridiculous. So here, as you can see, for instance, I was able to sell one of these different Great Elm for 480,000 gold. It's the heroic version. And it really goes to show that these different items are still selling. So again, my main recommendation is right now, and especially during the 3 next weeks before the release of patch 10.2, make sure to try to get some of these BOEs, especially the shoulders for the priest set. Again, some of these items can be maybe interesting, but I'm not entirely sure these ones will gain a lot of value. So it's really up to you to see how you want to do. But these ones, that's going to be definitely a gold mine in patch 10.2 and after. And so you should definitely do that right now. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you will be able to make a lot of gold with these different items. Keep in mind, you can also try to find sometimes some great auctions from the previous raid, the Vault of the Incarnates, but it's just a little bit more difficult. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos. And in the meantime, I wish you all a great start of the weekend. Bye.